rough couple of nights in the city of brotherly love as the Phillies have won 2 straight games over the NL West leaders. Matt Moore faced the Giants in June, and he was one of Tampa Bay's aces. Moore was an anchor on the Rays staff for 5 seasons, and now the newest Giant tries to be the stopper and get San Francisco back on track. Final game of the series, and it's next. We've got day baseball here in the great city of Philadelphia as we wrap up this 3-game series, Giants and Phillies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the last 2 games have not been fun to watch, but the Giants have a chance to win a game in this series before they head to Washington, D.C. And it ought to be interesting today because Bobby Evans made a big deal for Matt Moore, and he's on the mound today.
Well, he's on the mound today, and he's looking to make a splash in his debut as a Giants starter. And he has a chance to really impact this series and salvage a game. The Giants haven't been swept here in a long time. And if he could come up with a stop job today, it gives him instant credibility, not only in the city of San Francisco, but in that clubhouse. And that's what you look for early on when you're a player coming over to a new team in the middle of the summer. One thing about this lineup, it's the same lineup that we saw last night with one exception, and Buster Posey is not in it. So Bruce Bochy, you know, he's going for it. He knows the importance of this game. He's going to try and get one in the win column, and we'll see how Matt Moore does.
And from Matt Moore's mouth, he likes to hit. So we'll get a chance to see that this afternoon as well on this gorgeous day here at Citizens Bank Park. When we come back, we will have the lineups and the first pitch right after this.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
We got a nice day here in Philadelphia as we wrap up this 3-game series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 80 degrees, winds are calm, 61% humidity, and it is partly cloudy. All in all, a nice day to play a game. Here's the Giants lineup. Very familiar with the exception of one. It'll be Span, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford will be the cleanup hitter. Then it's Belt, and you see what Gillespie's done the last 7 games, followed by Panic, Brown, and the newest Giant, Matt Moore. It looks pretty good on him, that uniform.
Well, I agree with you, and he's been hot lately. I mean, he's been 4-2 in his last 6 starts with an ERA of 1.99. So he's coming into this start with confidence. It's a great place to get loose because you will definitely have a relationship with the Phillies fans who hang over the edge of your bullpen, and they let you have it. Just their way of welcoming you to the city of brotherly love. On the hill today for the Phillies will be Vince Velasquez. And this is what he has done in 18 starts. 8-3 with a 3.32 ERA. He's really had a solid year. Velasquez, just about a year's time at the big league level. And really has had a solid season, excluding a little stint on the disabled list in June when he missed a couple weeks because of a hot bicep. But when he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's mid to high 90s. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll use all 4 pitches. Came over to the Phillies in a trade with Houston. When the Phillies sent their closer, Ken Giles, to Houston, Velasquez was one of the guys that came over. Really, he was the premier guy, and he really has made good on that trade. You're going to see a lot of fastballs. League's hit 221 on it, as we mentioned. Mid to high 90s with velocity, and then the slider, curveball, changeup. It's whatever's working and whatever he feels he needs to throw at that particular moment. He'll throw anything, anytime, and any count. 6'3", 205-pounder. He's 24 years old. He's from Pomona, California. And the Phillies thinks that he is going to be an ace. Let's take a look at the Phillies defensively behind Velasquez today, starting in their outfield. From left to right, it'll be Goodell, Altair, and Paredes, the best arm in center field. Galvis and Franco on the left side of the infield. Hernandez and Joseph, they'll be on the right side. And Carlos Ruiz, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
And what we're waiting for is Righetti, Brown, Moore to get into the dugout. That allows Denard Span to get comfortable in the box. As Velasquez throws, and the first pitch is down low. So we get started at 1:08. Span last night had 3 hits. Giants had 10 hits. Span had 3 of them. And there's another pitch down low. The home plate umpire is Dennis Anya. Then it's Dale Scott, Bob Davidson, Lance Barrett. 2-0 on this bright Thursday afternoon. And there's a strike.
You're going to see a lot of low strikes with Osonia's strike zone. And his corners, they can breathe. You can get big corners some innings, and the next inning it is not so tight. But for the most part, you're going to see low strikes. An occasional belt, but not many.
Well, bat goes flying. It's 2-2. Everything's in order. Get some stickum. Yeah. So Span went from 2-0 to now 2-2. Everything's good. Pagan and then Pence. Velasquez looks around. Now he looks into Ruiz. And the 2-2 offering. Here it is. Rolled foul. Billy Hayes. Good hands, Billy. Into the seats.
Velasquez, a former second-round pick by the Astros in 2010, signed out of high school. He was a shortstop in high school. I mean, he pitched some, but I mean, he thought he was going to be a prospect at the shortstop position.
And a base hit into center field for Span. And that's how this game gets started. And that'll bring up Pagan. Only one hitter in this lineup has ever faced Velasquez, and that's Connor Gillespie. 2 at-bats, a walk, and he's 0 for 1. So here's Pagan. Out of the stretch for the first time, and Span will dive back. Span's got he's got 11 steals on the year.
Velasquez does not have a quick move. It is an opportunity to steal. Ruiz, the catcher, I mean, he has to rely on a quick release more so than arm strength. Does not have the same type of arm strength that we saw with Cameron Rupp the last couple nights. So it is an opportunity for Span.
Outside and high. Giants scored 2 runs in the first inning last night on their way to a very, very disappointing loss. I don't know about you, but I was pretty much over it until Greg Papa brought it up. I was over it.
It's a type of loss that is definitely going to stick with you for a while.
Yeah, but I was over it.
Well, we kind of condition ourselves to do that. But
Flan needs to work on that.
Got to move on.
Three 3-0.
Now Velasquez looks to me like he's not completely comfortable with the mound.
Doesn't even look like he's comfortable physically.
First inning is the inning of vulnerability for a lot of pitchers.
Pence on deck. Right at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. See if Span goes here. Well, they'll check on him first. Outfield straight away for Pagan. And the walk.
It's one Velasquez wanted, so an opportunity here for the Giants early on. There's no batting practice today for either team, so we really don't know how live the ballpark is playing today, but we're going to assume that it's hot.
Let's just assume that, absolutely.
And there's going to be carry everywhere.
Pence saying hello to a former teammate as he steps in. Hitting .299. Pence with a couple of hits last night and 5 at-bats. With Span and Pagan and good speed, and you never know, they could take off. And it's high, so Velasquez right now is not really thrilled about Asanya's strike zone.
Well, you're not going to see many belt high strikes from Asanya. I mean, he's a low ball guy. And he's also a guy that you have to prove to him that you can pound the strike zone. Once you get him looking for strikes, then it softens up and you get bigger corners and more strikes.
And a strike.
Well, he's not the kind of umpire that's going to start a game out with a big zone.
Brandon Crawford is on deck. Breaking ball is up and in. It's 2 balls and a strike. "14 pitches in, 2 runners on, and it's 2-1 to Pence, who's in constant motion at the plate. Ruiz with the sign and the 2-1 pitch. Here it is. 2-2.
That's just a challenge at 94. I mentioned Velasquez young. He's a young arm at 24. Just turned it. And he does absolutely believe in his fastball.
Center field. Span's going to tag. And Alter's throw is going to be cut off. So a productive out for Pence on the fly ball to center. And here's Crawford. Crawford on Tuesday night had a big night. He went 2 for 4. He hit a home run. He knocked in 3. Last night he took an 0 for 5 without a walk or a strikeout.
But hit the ball well. Kind of a tough night.
Yeah, that's where the box score a lot of times can be misleading.
And right now, if you look at the box score with Crawford and Joe Panik, his double play partner, you would think that they're both in a horrible slump, but it's not the case. They're not getting hits, but they're hitting the ball.
So Span at third, Pagan at first, and Crawford takes a belt high strike. Crawford leads this team in RBIs with 66. In the lineup, as far as RBIs behind Crawford, is Belts 53, and he's on deck. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Crank the pitch count up. Velasquez is another, example of a young arm. He thinks strikeout a lot too, and he will throw a lot of pitches early in the game.
So Velasquez now in a spot where he can go for the strikeout. It's 1-2 to Crawford. And a check swing foul. So not the perfect swing, but enough to see another pitch.
defensively today, it's going to be a bit of a chore to catch fly balls and pop-ups. There's a lot of sun in the faces of the defense today. How does that affect you? Well, perhaps you might take on a halfway lead on a fly ball. If you're a runner at first, you may take a few extra steps towards second.
Pitch number 21 coming up. And a rocket into right field, a base hit, and the Giants lead 1-0.
And that's how you hit a hanger. You take advantage of a location mistake. And in a 2-strike count, you're pitching for the strikeout. This is just a flat-out mistake. Right up around the letters, and Crawford makes him pay for it.
So here's Belt. Belt will look for the same thing. He had a big game on Tuesday. 3 for 5, hit a home run. 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. And here he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Second day in a row the Giants have done some damage in the first inning. And that is a trend that Bruce Bochy would like to see more and more of. Has not been their strong suit of late. That first time through the lineup.
There's the strike. Connor Gillespie is on deck. Good speed at second and Pagan. Crawford runs well. He's at first. And Belt with a foul into the glove of Ruiz. And now he's behind in the count. It's 1-2. So Velasquez really slowing things down. This will be pitch number 25 as Belt waits. And the pitch. And it's outside. It's 2-2, and Velasquez wanted that one. I'm guessing that Asanya's not a really great getaway day pitcher.
Well, he's not a good pitcher's umpire, period. It's a tight zone. Just a little bit high and outside.
Got him.
So Velasquez stays with the fastball away, and he gets his first strikeout of the day.
Here's Gillespie. Gillespie 2 for 4 last night. See, he's got that average now to 265. He's playing because he's hot right now. And you got a hot hitter, and this is where you want him. Up at the plate with 2 runners on.
Matt Moore, in his mind, he's pitching that right through that first inning, thinking about who he's going to face, what he's going to throw. It's the game face you want.
Caught by Joseph, and that's going to end the inning. Giants lead 1-0. Phillies coming up. will face this lineup. It'll be Hernandez, Altair, and then Maikel Franco. And you see what he's done. He's been a tough out for the Giants, followed by Joseph Ruiz and Paredes. Tyler Goodell, he's in the 7th slot. Then it's Galvis and Velasquez.
On the hill today for the Giants, making his debut, will be the left-hander Matt Moore. Matt Moore, 6'3", 210-pounder. He's in his 5th year at the big league level. He's 27 years of age. And this is what he has done in 21 starts, 7-7 with a 4.08 ERA, 109 strikeouts, 130 innings. And the 130 innings is significant. He's an innings eater. You're going to see a fastball that'll average 93. He'll 2- and 4-seam it. Slider, curveball, changeup, and the changeup he uses a split grip. Very aggressive with the fastball. You'll see a lot of them.
And the first pitch to Cesar Hernandez is high. Hernandez 295. 2 home runs, 26 driven in. Does have a couple of hits lifetime against Matt Moore.
Matt Moore pitching on 7 days rest.
Nope, 3-0.
Last start came last Wednesday against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And in that game, he went 6 2/3 against LA and allowed just 1 unearned run on 4 hits.
There's a thank you very much strike. Gets 3 balls and 1 strike.
And that'll settle him in.
Altair and then Franco. Taking all the way 3-2. Moore is a Florida kid. He was born there. He lives there in the off season. And the walk.
Let's take a look at the Giants defensively behind Matt Moore today, starting on their outfield from left to right. It'll be Pagan, Span, and Pence. Crawford and Gillespie on the left side. Panic and Bell on the right side. Trevor Brown going to be in the squad today. Buster Posey getting a day off. The only difference in the lineup today from last night is that there's no Buster Posey.
Altair at 250. A big night on Tuesday and then quiet last night. Here he takes low.
Take a look at how he uses his pitches. Fastball a lot, 63% of the time, and the curveball and then the changeup equally is whatever's working. More changeups to righties, more curveballs to lefties. He will sink and cut the fastball.
On deck is Maikel Franco. It's 2-0. There's the strike. Altair on Tuesday night was all world. 3 for 5, 5 RBIs. Hit an opposite field home run off of Madison Bumgarner. There he drives it into right center field. That's going to be trouble. Bounces off the wall. It caroms right to Span. They're going to wave in Hernandez, and he will score, and this game is tied. So a walk and a double.
And like we saw in game 1 against Madison Bumgarner, a lefty throwing a fastball in the outside corner at the knees and taking it off the wall. Against Bumgarner, hit it over the wall. A 2-run homer in the first inning. And Matt Moore just found out that he likes to get extended. Altair, a 6'5" hitter, and he covers that low pitch away well.
So Franco hitting .256. And he takes the first pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes.
First breaking ball from Moore. You expect him to be a little amped up. It's going to take him a while to wear off some of that adrenaline. The other thing too, when he warmed up, he came in before the first pitch of the game, and it was a long top half of the first. And that can affect a guy. That and adrenaline, this is not a good mix. You hope it wears off quickly if you're Dave Righetti, the Giants pitching coach.
This is going to be high and foul down the left field line. Remember the last play of the game is Franco got a base hit, and that knocked in the winning run. It turned out that Altair never touched second. So after much discussion with a lot of different people, the winning run was unearned, and he reached on a fielder's choice. The putout went 9-2. On the ground to third, and Gillespie backs up. He gets a decent hop, and he'll throw him out.
Not an easy play. Good play. Well, here was that last play of the game. Bases loaded, base hit. And Altair, the runner at first base, never got to second. And you can see him sort of stop halfway, thinking, up, game over, here we go. Well, the Giants went out there, and they stepped on second base, and it winds up taking a hit away from Franco. It's a fielder's choice. And really, for George Contos, who was the losing pitcher, the run that he gave up now becomes unearned.
Here's Tommy Joseph. And he takes low and in. Nice play by Brown. Kind of an odd play. I mean, Span let it go past him, and then he had to go back and scramble. Pence ended up picking it up, and he threw to Buster Posey. 9-2, but the out was made at second. Trying to remember the last time I saw a catcher get a put out at second. Probably not going to see it again.
No, I mean, that play was completely bizarre. I mean, it's not a big issue unless you're Franco and you wind up hitting 299. You had a hit taken away from you.
Outside to Joseph.
We're still trying to establish the knee-high location. He just can't get that ball down.
Kind of odd numbers for Joseph. Most of his RBIs have come by way of the home run. He's got 27 RBIs. He's got 14 home runs.
So Trevor Brown calling the breaking ball in the 2-0. I mean, just anything to try and get the ball down. Now he does, but he doesn't get it in the strike zone. So again, behind in the count. And this is just a simple case of being overamped.
And the green light for Tommy Joseph, and why not? It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Oh, you're right. I mean, when you have a pitcher out there who's just trying to throw a strike, he's not thinking corner location. He's just thinking, please, Lord, let me throw a strike. And that's when you can bushwhack them, and they tried. All right, time now for McDonald's True Stories. We go back to September 23rd, 1908. Cubs taking on the Giants at the Polo Grounds. And with 2 outs, Al Bridwell, the Giants, singled home the winning run at the bottom of the 9th inning. But the runner at first, Fred Merkle, failed to touch second base in the celebration. Cubs second baseman Johnny Evers retrieved the ball and stepped on second, and Merkle was ruled out, and the run did not count, and the game was declared a tie, a 1-1 tie. The game was replayed on October 8th, and the Cubs won the game, and they won the pennant by a game. They beat the Tigers in the World Series, and they haven't won one since, and that has always been referred to as Merkle's boner.
Here's Ruiz with Philly runners at first and second. And the pitch is low. Ruiz at 255, 3 home runs, 11 driven in. We have not seen Ruiz at all in this series.
It's a lot of balls back up the middle, right field. He's definitely a double play candidate.
On the ground to Belt. Belt will throw it to Crawford for 1, and that's it. So nice play by Belt. I mean, that jumped on him quickly. That ball was hit hard.
There's been nothing easy for the infielders today.
One of the things you love about Brandon Belt is he's fearless when it comes to throwing the ball.
He was a pitcher, and even at the University of Texas, he was a pitcher. And he thought for a while he was going to get drafted as a pitcher. So the point you make about being confident in throwing the baseball, I mean, he certainly is. He always has been since he's got to the big league level.
Here's Paredes. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. That's where Matt Moore wants to be. That pitch right there.
Well, that's the first time he just absolutely drove right through the inside corner on the right-handers, and that was at 94. So I think he's starting to wear off some of that adrenaline.
I mean, you could actually hear it. Fouled at the plate. It's now 0-2.
Better breaking ball. And you'll see him use that inside corner a lot against righties, just like Madison Bumgarner. Doesn't have quite as much cut, but he's got cut. And a big time strikeout pitch for him against righties is right above the hands on that inside corner. And we saw him in Tampa. He pitched inside beautifully.
Brown likes to use the inside corner. Look out. Everybody all right? Usually there's 4 or 5 people holding on to the bat.
Well, this is the one thing you fear. And I think the kid with the Giants hat on wound up with the bat.
I think he did. I think somebody's going to have to give up.
Let the little guy have it. Atta bit.
New lumber for Paredes. It's 0-2. Fouled at the plate. Now, if that happened when I was with the Indians,
you go up the stands and get
well,
it.
you had to. You only got one bad order a year. Depending how attendance was going.
It wasn't much different when we first got to San Francisco either.
No swing, and down to second goes Ruiz. I don't know if Brown was more concerned about did he swing as opposed to throwing down.
Well, it may have been a delayed steal. So for Carlos Ruiz, puts himself in scoring position, his second steal of the year.
Gillespie on one hop, and they'll end the inning. So Matt Moore pitches through some traffic. It's 1-1.
you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/road trip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
Well, when the Giants get back home, come out to the ballpark early on Saturday, August 13th, is the Giants honor Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. It'll be a statue unveiling ceremony. It will begin at 1 o'clock at the corner of 2nd and King, the gate. First 20,000 fans, they're going to receive a replica Perry statue courtesy of Coca-Cola. sfgiants.com/tickets as Panic takes low. Big G. Big G and Little G.
Big G.
You know who Little G was?
Jim Lord?
His brother.
Jim Perry.
Good guy. There's a call strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Actually a much nicer guy than Gaylord.
Then.
Yeah, he didn't yell at you if you screwed up.
He softened up a bit.
Jim Lord was like, you know, the really nice gym teacher you had in high school. Gaylord was like the principal, the mean principal.
He was the dean of boys.
2-1 pitch to Panic. And it's a called strike. 2-2. Panic's about to go on a tear.
Either that or bite off the sweet spot of his bat. He's fighting hard to be patient, but the hits are not falling for him right now.
Skies this one into center field. And it'll be Altair who makes the catch. 1 out.
Well, we'd like to give a shout out to Gregory Hawkins and his wife Jennifer Rosem from Jackson, California. It's Jennifer's 60th birthday today. They traveled to watch the Giants to celebrate Jennifer's birthday, so happy birthday. A couple of gamers here enjoying the ball game at Citizens Bank Park in the great city of Philadelphia that we think is a great place.
I think I know how the conversation went. Here's Brown. Jennifer, honey, what would you like to do on your birthday?
What do you suggest?
Well, I'd like to go to Philadelphia to watch the Giants play.
Book it.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
But, you know, oftentimes we go around the country and we will encourage Giants fans they travel better than anybody. This is a good place to come.
Oh. And a strike. Gets 1 and 2.
The ballpark's spectacular. The attitude in the ballpark is spectacular. The town has got more things to see and more things to do. And Jim Lynch and Jeff Kuiper, who are our director and producer, think that this is one of the best crews they work with all year long. They really look forward to coming to Philadelphia, as we all do.
You're supposed to say that the first day, not the last day.
Hey, they've been good. But we expect it.
It's 1 and 2 to Brown. Look out. 2 and 2. Matt Moore's on deck. Three and 2. Here's the payoff. Little pop-up down the right field line. And Tommy Joseph's going to make the running catch, basket style. So here's Moore.
Look like a tight end. Basket style. And you get your fist pump reward.
Matt Moore's 2 for 7.
Matt Moore wore number 55 when he was with Tampa Bay. Every pitch he ever threw in the big leagues was with 55 on his back. That's a gift strike. He got here and realized that the Giants were still a little sensitive about number 55. And he very respectfully says, hey, I get it. Give me 45's fine. So Tim Lincecum's number is not going to be given out for a while.
1-2.
And I think Giants fans are happy with that.
And he got him, and that'll end the inning. So settling down is Velasquez, and it'll be Tyler Goodell to lead things off.
Pizza in town. Amici's delivers.
Yeah, the Orioles are in town for interleague play. That'll start on Friday the 12th. On Sunday the 14th, Giants are giving away Hunter Pence solar bobble bodies to the first 20,000 fans, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now at sfgiants.com/tickets. So we're waiting on the music to stop and Goodell to stand in a 1-1 game. Goodell, Galvis, and Velasquez. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Nice finish with that fastball. Adrenaline's a great thing because it can mask a lot of little owies that you have, but it can also be a problem. When you get too much of it, you get to almost like a numbness in your arm from your elbow down, and it just has to wear off. And what it affects is a pitcher's ability to command his pitches.
One and two.
That's good curveball right there. Get used to that.
I had a cup of coffee with Mark Gardner this morning in the hotel lobby, and he said, watch for Matt Moore's curveball. He said, it is a sleeper. Hit on the ground to Crawford. Crawford to Belt.
Well, that's a compliment because Mark Gardner had a great curveball.
Matter of fact, that's what I said. I said, yeah, well, you would know something about that. So Gardner threw one that you could almost hear when it came by because the spin was so tight.
And it went right over the top. Straight down biter. He could pitch. He wound up with 99 career wins.
There's Gardy.
.95-mile-an-hour fastball. So Matt Moore definitely starting to feel like himself.
Oh, and 2. Although I do on an occasion have to hear from Mark Gardner that we're tied in the home run department.
Well,
he hit one on a Sunday afternoon. Remember those temporary bleachers they had at Candlestick?
Yeah.
I think he hit it over that. That or under it, one or the other.
Did he hit it off a former Cy Young Award winner?
I don't remember.
Well, then you got him. Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
But hey, he's in the club. Come on.
It's funny, you sit and talk to guys that have been in the organization as long as we have, and you start trying to go back and tell stories. And in the dirt, blocked by Brown, and Brown will tag out Galvis. It'll go like this. What year was that? Was that 93? I think it was 97. No, I think it was.
You fight to remember the year, and it's almost impossible because they kind of blend into each other.
Here's Vince Velasquez. He can hit. He's 7 for 31.
Well, remember, this is a 2nd-round pick out of Southern California. He thought he was going to be a shortstop.
And a wicked swing and a foul back. See, he's got 7 hits. And
curveball.
Snapper.
Not going to hit that one. How's your snapper?
Not in the heat. Would I want that? Actually, I wouldn't want it ever.
No.
Not a cotton candy guy. And that'll do it. So both pitchers settle down in the 2nd inning. Giants will have the top of the order coming up. It's 1-1.
is brought to you by the California Academy of Sciences, presenting Twilight Zone: Deep Reefs Revealed, a new exhibit exploring the ocean's mysterious deep coral reefs. Get tickets at calacademy.org.
Giants won, Phillies won as Span steps in. Span singled to open up the ball game. And he shoots it up the middle. And on the backhand is Hernandez, and he'll throw him out. Nice play.
That was a nice play. Hernandez has got good range for a second baseman. I mean, I think he can cover as much ground as anybody in the National League. Gets a good jump here going to his right, plays a tricky hop, a high backhander, sets up quickly, and he's got a nice arm. It's not a second base arm. It's more of a shortstop's arm.
Here's Pagan, who drew a walk in the first inning. And this, no, a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0. Pence to follow. Pagan laying in the weeds. Foul that one straight back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's trying to hit one out there. This ballpark is so inviting to hitters because of the carry to both sides of the field. I mean, it's a home run hitter's haven. You get a 2-0 count, you're going to look middle in, you get that fastball up, you're going to try and lift and separate.
3-1.
And here he is in this similar situation. It's just so easy to get greedy in this play.
Tap foul off of Pagan's foot.
Good changeup from Velasquez. An example of how he'll use all of his pitches.
Well, he used that way behind in the count.
But I think if you're going to pitch up here, you have to be able to have something that you can consistently throw in fastball counts to get hitters off the fastball, like the changeup or a cutter.
The problem for the hitter with a 3-1 changeup is if the guy out on the mound throws a good one 3-1, in the back of your mind you're thinking he might throw it 3-2.
Absolutely.
And that takes away the little advantage you have looking for a fastball 3-2.
And once you have that changeup in your mind, it makes that fastball look faster. You know, changeup's the greatest pitch ever invented.
Whitey Ford, Johnny Padres, those guys had it all figured out. Giants Insider Podcast is sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, and it's live on CSNBayArea.com. You could log on each week. Is insider Alex Pavlovich. He's going to talk baseball, and it's also available on iTunes. Here's Pence.
But you're right about the changeup. I mean, back in previous generations, there weren't a lot of guys throwing them, especially in 3-2 counts. Now, it's everywhere.
Pence takes one up and in. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I think the way that the size of the bat has evolved, bats are much smaller now, much lighter, and I think it's because of the different types of movements and speeds that hitters see day in and day out.
There's a strike to Pence.
And I just think it's much different than in previous generations. You'll see starting pitchers that have a full command of 6 different movements and 3 different speeds, and are throwing mid to high 90s, and that was unheard of. Now you see it every day.
Pagan's got 10 steals. He's 10 out of 12. So you might think that he could go here.
Well, Velasquez can be very slow.
1-2. Crawford on deck. Crawford's got the RBI single in this game. Pagan goes, swing and a miss. Here's the throw down to second, and he made it. I'm sure the Phillies will take a look.
Well, we're going to make our Ford right choice. Talk about the opportunity that Velasquez gives you.
He's out.
Yeah, that's going to be done. We're still making it our Ford right choice. Great throw by Carlos Ruiz. Our Ford right choice.
So they're going to take a look at it, and the Giants are not going to be happy with this.
They are not.
So if you're keeping score, I hope you're using a pencil like we are, because this is going to cause us to pull out the eraser and write caught stealing. This replay review is presented by Xfinity. It's going to caught stealing 2-4. Phillies are leaving the field. I don't blame them. They've seen the replay on the big board.
And this is the one that's going to do him in. He's out. Bob Davidson waiting the verdict.
I thought this would be a really quick. So they got him. And they'll end the inning. So nice throw by Ruiz. Top of the order coming up. It's 1-1. We're going to talk about my partner in the Phillies uniform. In 1982, he made 33 starts, 13-11 record. There's a big curveball. 3.12 ERA, 7 complete games, 2 shutouts. and he threw 208 innings. It's a pretty good year, my friend.
Well, it was a great experience playing in the city.
It was after that year that Tom Haller traded for a broadcaster.
That's what he did well, bringing broadcasters into the Giants organization.
It's 1-1 to Cesar Hernandez.
Think back about all the guys that were in our clubhouse back there in '83 and went on to have broadcasting careers. Dan Gladden, Bob Brenly. Of course, you and I were privileged. Joe Morgan. And later on, Jeff Brantley. He's doing radio play-by-play with the Reds now. Mark Grant, analyst with the Padres.
Out of play.
Who am I forgetting?
I don't know. I think you got it. Well, Vida and Lasky. What they do pre and post.
Bill and Vida.
1-2 to Hernandez. This is not playing topper, but in 1972 in Reno, we had 4 that are currently broadcasting. Did not see those guys coming. Swing and a miss.
Good. Kirk.
One of them's down the way here. Larry Anderson.
So Rick Manning, Dennis Eckersley, you,
and
Larry Anderson. I like those guys.
Not at all. And it's one way to see them. There's a called strike to Aaron Altair. There's Larry. Mr. Slider, the king of the slider. Oh, he pitched like 18 years. And no one threw more sliders in their life than he did.
He didn't even have another sign. The only 2 guys I've ever seen that where they just threw sliders every pitch were Larry Anderson and Sparky Lyle.
Plus, he could entertain you. He used to belch the national anthem on our bus.
Well, I mean, that's I want to see that. I'd pay to see that.
Here's the 0-2. And Panic's got it. Dave Fleming. He'll be joining Mike in innings 4, 5, and 6. I guess Dave will change into his Comcast shirt on his way.
Yeah, he'll do the Superman thing. There's a phone booth between the radio booth and the TV booth, so he'll put his colors on.
Yeah. I forgot I got to go over there, and I got to pack up.
Let's go.
One of the beauties of going over to radio is you don't have to listen or deal with the stats guy.
The stats guy we have, Bobby, we have the same stats guy when we play New York, Philadelphia.
It's one of the great reasons I've headed over. I see Bobby's here, and then when I go over to radio, he's out.
Bobby joined us with both the Yankees and the Mets.
Stand up. Show him that you're 5'4". Or make it 3 balls and no strikes. Nothing wrong, by the way, with being 5'4".
No.
I got one in my house that's about that. Maybe a little taller than that.
I got one a little bit smaller than that.
And a rocket down the left field line. Foul. Wisely, the ball girl was getting out of the way.
Another 3-0 trigger. Look out, darling. I mean, this was a bullet going right at her. I think she did the veteran move.
Yeah, out of dodge. hit high to left for Pagan. And that'll end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning. Dave Fleming will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 1-1.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Caltrans Stormwater. Keep our highways clean. Protect our water. ProtectEveryDrop.com.
Welcome back to Citizens Bank Park here in beautiful Philadelphia on a gorgeous sunny day in the middle of the summer. And it is a 1-1 tie. We're at the top of the 4th inning, and here to tell you all about it, my friend Dave Fleming.
Just about time for the tomatoes to be perfect, right?
Oh, I had tomatoes for breakfast today. Jersey tomatoes, nothing like them.
So good. Brandon Crawford leads off for the Giants against Velasquez.
The tomatoes, the beefsteak tomatoes, and the sweet corn.
Sweet corn.
Oh.
This weekend, I'm going to make sure I have as much of that as I can. Down in Washington, the same kind of thing applies. This is the time of the year for the summertime stuff. 0-2 to Crawford. All right, catch me up to speed. I know you and Kipe have been talking about it, but your impressions of Matt Moore?
Well, I thought he was overamped, understandably, in the first inning. And once he is settled in, he's got a nice finish on the fastball and the curveball. The curveball is really going to jump off the page in the eyes of the Giants fan. They're going to like this guy. He's aggressive inside. And his curveball changeup combination, I mean, he's got 3 good ways to get you out. Not afraid to throw him at any count. And I think what we were impressed with when we saw him in Tampa was his ability to pitch in. I mean, he just comes at you. And I think that type of style is so beautifully suited for AT&T Park. I mean, he's more of a fly ball strikeout guy, and that's a ballpark that is forgiving to fly balls.
Another 0-2. Crawford takes the breaking ball in the dirt.
So since he found the comfort zone right around the 2nd inning, I mean, he has really looked well. Healthy.
Yep.
Vibrant.
I'm with you.
Pumped.
I just wanted to validate my own opinion. I've been impressed. Got a piece of it to stay alive. And even in that first inning, when I think he was overamped, he was not quite sharp. The misses were sort of, I don't know if you call them pinpoint misses. I mean, they were in the neighborhood of where he was trying to throw the ball, just a few inches off, not right down the middle.
And he wasn't getting a whole lot of help from Dan Asanya.
He was not. It was a tight strike zone, especially early. That's a ball. Down and in. 2-2. So we'll see if the Giants offense can get it going against Velasquez. They made him throw a lot of pitches. They made him work hard for every out, including this one. 2-2. Strikes out Crawford with that changeup.
So both pitchers have locked into a nice rhythm, and it is a rhythm that they're both feeding off of. Both guys are throwing strikes. They're quick innings.
First baseman Brendan Belt.
Belt, who struck out his first time up. Want to know. I'm sure you guys have talked about this too, but it's been interesting for me to watch Velasquez. First time in person seeing him in a lot of critical counts, big spots, not using the fastball. I mean, this is a guy who throws 95 miles an hour, but using all that other stuff. I think it went in those spots where he's had to make his biggest pitches.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence with everything he throws.
Everything.
And there's nothing that he throws that's average. You can see why the Phillies were so excited about this young arm.
Belt hits one well to center field, but not quite well enough. That's the big part of the yard. 2 down. You look back on last night's game, and there were lots of little moments that added up for a tough Giants loss. Belt had that sac fly early in the game. Odubel Herrera had to jump at the center field wall to catch it. It was a couple of feet maybe from being a 2-run homer, and an extra run for the Giants, and one fewer out, and the rally keeps going. I mean, even just a little moment like that. That's what happens. You lose a game like last night. You start picking back at everything that went wrong.
Well, and bottom line is they're a little snake bit right now. They have been on the road since the second half of the season started, and they're not getting a lot of breaks. You think back to the runner first and second, 2-out swing of the bat from Connor Gillespie, hits a bullet right to Tommy Joseph at first base. Happened in last night's ball game with Joe Panik. A couple guys on, hit a absolute seed to Joseph. Picked him. So those are things that you do notice when you're struggling to put a team away, and it allows a team to stay close to you. And last night the Phillies took advantage of it. So you know what you do? You grind through it.
No other choice. Gillespie fouls one away.
You know, and you don't dwell on it. I mean, that's the one thing that I think Bruce Bochy does so well, and has done so well since he's been the skipper with the Giants, is that he cleans their heads out every day they get to the ballpark, and he erases the bad memories. Last night was a tough loss. It'd be real easy to come in here and have residue of that game affect today's game, but Bochy's strength as a manager is he gets them ready to play.
Struck out Gillespie on a high fastball. So a powerful inning for Velasquez. Matt Moore back to the mound in a 1-1 game.
home opener is Saturday, September 17th against Texas. Visit calbears.com or call 800-GO-BEARS for tickets.
Well, the Pirates are coming to San Francisco, AT&T Park, August 15th through the 17th. Monday and Tuesday are both 7:15 games. And then Wednesday the 17th, join us for day baseball for a 12:45 start in the city. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets. Always entertaining, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Without their closer now, they traded away Mark Melancon to the Nationals, so we may see Melancon this weekend in a Nats uniform. Pirates still have a good team, though. Matt Moore has locked in his command. Tommy Joseph, who walked his first time up, leading off here in the bottom of the fourth. That's a ball.
Did not miss by much. Continues to be making quality pitches.
A lot of power from this guy. When the Giants traded him, they knew that. Bruce Bochy talked about it at the time. It's years ago now. That is close, but called ball 2.
Such a tight zone.
Tommy Joseph in spring training when he was a real young player used to impress the Giants big league coaches and manager with that power. That's ball 3. And I think everybody for the Giants has been rooting for him. He had a lot of injury problems, mainly with the concussion that's forced him to give up catching. But I think the Giants are happy that he's on his way to a big league career now. 3-1 is ball 4. Our Geico quote, Johnny Cueto on the Giants record here post All-Star break. We're a good team. All we can do is keep grinding and putting our best stuff out there every game. I think that kind of speaks, Mike, to what you were talking about how it's still a confident group even though they haven't played well here of late.
Well, and they all feel that a little snake bit. They all feel that the good bounces that they got prior to the ending of the first half, they just haven't been getting this in the second half. So you just get through it, and sooner or later the breaks will start coming back your way. They all feel that, and I think it's important that they all feel that. When you go through a rough spot of the season, you know, certain teams break up. You got to keep them all going in the same direction, and that's when you rely on your manager, your coaching staff.
A lot of the good teams in the big leagues are going through it right now, same time as the Giants. That's ball 2. So now Matt Moore, some real close pitches called balls, and he's lost a little bit of his feel. Trevor Brown's coming out.
Yeah, it's a good time to go out and talk to your pitcher if you're Trevor Brown, because I think he's frustrated with some of the pitches he didn't get in the Tommy Joseph at bat. And if you're a catcher, you go out there and say, hey, those are good pitches. You throw them in the same spot, you're probably going to get them with this guy. It's an inconsistent zone. Be patient.
The first one he made to Ruiz here, I thought was a strike. But my opinion doesn't matter. 2-0. That's a strike.
Well, and I've always been a bit fearful of Dan Asonya's strike zone. He's a low ball guy. It's a bit of an inconsistent zone. The corners breathe on you. It's definitely a zone that favors the hitter. I think his strength as an umpire is on the base paths. He just doesn't give you much help. If you think back to the 2012 World Series, he was behind the plate in that game when there was that play at the plate with Prince Fielder, and he called him out, and Prince Fielder went crazy, insisting that he was safe. Then you saw the replay, and Asanya indeed made a great call, and he had a nice game in that game.
Ruiz pops it up, shallow center field, 1 away. He kind of gets the lifetime pass for me just for making that call correctly, because remember, there was no replay in 2012, so whatever call he made was the call that was going to be in play, and we watched the replays, and he made the absolute correct call on one of the most dramatic, bang bang close defensive plays really in the history of the World Series, I think.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, it was an incredible moment.
It was a big play in that game. It was a big play in that series. And the Tigers just never got a break, it seemed, in that series. Giants took full advantage of the good breaks that came their way and won a world championship.
Paredes swings and misses. Was it Blanco to Scutaro to Posey? Was that the relay?
I think it was.
I think so. I'd have to go back and look at that just to. You know, it's tough when you've had 3 different World Series runs and all those memories kind of start to run together.
Well, that we're getting older.
Okay, that too. Good breaking ball.
Paredes going to have a little word with him now. He knows he's swinging at balls. It's not an easy one to lay off of. The curveball that Moore has, it's a big curveball. I mean, he's got a high 3/4 release, and that's a big high break. And it's late and it's quick.
We're still learning about this guy. It's his Giants debut. Fastball, strike 3 called.
And
Just
it's a rough at bat.
It is. 2 down.
Hey, you're swinging 2 curveballs in the dirt, and you take a fastball right down the dish. Grab some pine meat.
Here's Tyler Goodell. Is that curveball? Does he throw a knuckle curveball?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He knuckles it, and his changeup he throws off a split finger grip.
We're just learning about this guy. Outside ball 1. And even there, I think there's just a little hesitation from Trevor Brown, kind of waiting to see if he'd get the call. I think that one probably missed, but here's the 1-0. 2-0.
It gives you nothing. The other thing, too, for Matt Moore, I mean, he's really tough to steal off of him. I mean, he's as quick out of the stretch as Kirk Reeder. He's been consistently down 1 second from his unload time. I mean, he just has a little bit of movement down, and then he steps towards his target. Very, very compact.
Man, 3-0, and those are 2. And those are strikes.
I think that last one may have been low. I think the first 2 could have been called a strike.
Well, the second one I thought for sure was. Maybe that one was low. 3-0, and that's definitely ball 4. So that's 2 walks here in the 4th and 4 walks in the game for Matt Moore.
When you have a tight zone, the hardest thing for a pitcher to do is maintain his composure, because you're going to get mad. At some point in time, a guy's going to put you in behind the 8 ball because of his lack of strike zone that he's given you. And at some point, it's going to be something you have to deal with.
Galvis first pitch swinging. And what turns into a big spot here. Tie game, 4th inning. Still a long way to go, but a chance for a base hit to put the Phillies ahead. No guarantee with Tommy Joseph as the lead runner. 70 pitches now for Moore. Oh, and 2.
And all the walks and all the pitches that are not called a strike, they run the pitch count up. And he's about 10 over what he'd like to be. He'd like to be 60 pitches or less after the 4th inning. Right now, he could throw 2 curveballs in the dirt. Galvis he's going to swing at him.
0-2. He throws the curve. It was almost in the dirt, and he did swing.
He's very aggressive. He'll definitely go fishing.
I might do that again if I were Matt Moore.
Oh, yeah. And when you get a guy in the swing mode, I mean, you just want to stay out of the strike zone. You throw that high fastball above his hands. You can try and bounce it on home plate.
Another 0-2. High fastball struck him out. That's good pitching by Matt Moore. And he works around the 2 walks. Panik will lead off when we come back in a tie game.
Acura Grand Slam giveaway on CSN, and James Galinsky, you will win an Acura MDX if a Giants player hits a Grand Slam this inning. So go to AcuraNorCalDealers.com for more information on how to enter. So good luck. Meet
James, meet Joe Panik. Curve for a strike. Joe could use a hit.
The problem is when you're slumping, and you're in that part of your slump where you're hitting the ball hard and you get nothing for it, is that you want to take like 14 at bats in one day. It's just so hard to wait for your next at bat. And because of that, you know, you take the game home with you. You don't have the freedom of letting your mind get away from the game, which you need to do. When you're going good, you leave the ballpark, hey, life's good. Come back next day, pick up the game mentally, and have another good game. But when you're not getting hits, you do not leave the game at the ballpark. You take it with you.
Fastball and a liner into center field. That'll feel good.
And a leadoff single.
All right, we're talking about this home plate umpire. Dan with the big call he made in 2012. Here it is. Blanco, Scudero, Posey, got him.
And Fielder went back to the Tigers dugout and he was livid. And it wasn't until some of his teammates who saw the replay came in and said, yeah, you were out, that he finally let it go.
It really was an incredible defensive play and a tremendous call on the biggest stage in a huge moment. Congratulations, Dan.
Oh, he had a great day. And that whole crew All 6 of them did a great job in that series.
Now that was Bumgarner, and remember, Bumgarner, for all of his incredible postseason heroics, that was the year where earlier in those playoffs he was just a little bit out of whack, and early in that game I think the Giants were not nervous but wondering, okay, is he going to have his sharpness today? He ended up pitching beautifully. Ball 3 to Trevor Brown.
Well, he said afterwards, he goes, I was tired. And he got a second wind in that month of October.
Brown taking, it looked like taking all the way. That was the day after Pablo Sandoval had hit the 3 home runs against Verlander and the Tigers, and the Giants would win that second game on their way to a sweep.
That we all saw coming.
Oh, yeah. Verlander against Zito, game 1. Giants are going to sweep this series. Ball 4. High and tight to Brown. Giants have a great chance here now. 2 on, nobody out. The pitcher comes up in a spot where he can make a productive out and set the stage for the top of the order.
I think it's a lot easier for left-handed hitters to bunt the ball to the third base line too, and then that's where this bunt should go. So Carlos Ruiz coming out to talk to his pitcher. He may have a blister problem or something.
He might. Well, that could get him out of the game. Rich Hill, the new Dodger, the A's pitcher, has fought that blister thing that he's had for 2 months, it seems like.
It can dog you. And you know, you see it more with young pitchers than you do with older pitchers because it's something you learn to maintain. And you have to tend to it. And you cannot let a callus go unfiled, or sanded. You've got to make sure that a blister doesn't get underneath the callus, because once you get a deep blister, it stays with you, and you get a little bit of a burn right at the end of the release of your pitch, and it causes you to quit on the pitch. It affects your ability to command your pitches, and you'll start to throw around it, and that's when you can hurt your arm. So blisters are very serious problems.
Well, he's kept himself in the game. He's convinced the trainer and the manager, Pete McCann, that he can go on. I wonder if Matt Moore might make him throw a strike before he gets the bunt down, just to see if that blister is really bugging him. Ball 1. Maybe just make him prove that he can throw a ball in the strike zone. Two 2-0, not close.
Those are not close. Matt Moore's getting a little late to getting set up too to bunt, and that's something they'll work on with him. Hasn't had a lot of bunting experience. You just don't get it when you're in the American League. That's better.
Got the call.
This is, you're watching him after every pitch look down at his finger. He's feeling it. He's trying to gut his way through it, but that's, I don't know how long the Phillies will let him try. And again, the reason that you're concerned about it is because he can throw around it and hurt his arm. He'll alter his release point.
Showing bunt early. He bunts it third base side. Franco looked at second. He'll take the out at first.
Nice job. Got the job done.
For a guy who's had very little experience as an American League pitcher his whole career until today, just hasn't had many chances, and he did get the job done.
He'll get tightened up. He'll get a little more bend in his knee and get a little more upright position with his upper body. I mean, he needs to go to the Tim Flannery School of Bunting. But yet, he got the job done, and that's all that really counts. A productive out, and a lot of high fives and handshakes.
Well, those American League teams, most of them spend no time working on it, even with interleague play coming up. Maybe they'll have pitchers take batting practice a couple times, but
one more look. A little bit of a lean upper body. You got to get a little more bend in the legs. But, you know, he doesn't have far to go to where he's got good technique.
really big spot here. The infield is back. Denard Span can hit a ground ball and put the Giants ahead. I think the Giants' aspirations might be a little higher than just the one run. You get the top of the order, 2 on, only 1 out.
And both Span and Pagan have really swung the bat well in this series. This is a strikeout situation for Velasquez, and he's very comfortable in those scenarios. He's got strikeout stuff. This will be a good battle.
1-2. And Span, who traditionally has been one of the toughest pitchers to strike, toughest hitters to strike out in the game. Now behind the count 1-2, he's got to be able to get the bat on the ball. One to one in the 5th. Great opportunity for the Giants. Velasquez. Fastball is driven to center field. Altair makes a catch. Panic tags. He'll come home to score. And Trevor Brown also tags and goes to third. So the Giants take a 2-1 lead. Denard Span gets a sacrifice fly.
No, that's a great at bat, and he does it with 2 strikes. And there's the high fives from your teammates that everybody covets. So now you're looking for the backbreaker 2-out RBI base hit.
Well, and I think you said it too. Once the count gets to 2 strikes against a guy who's got the strikeout stuff, you do that, and you did a good job. Bruce Bochy, a lot of times he'll tell us he really doesn't like the sac fly because he thinks it kind of locks you into a 1-run inning. The sac fly is kind of a funny way, a rally killer, but in that spot against this pitcher, good job by Span.
And given how it's been so difficult to score this whole second half, he'll take it.
Yep, he will.
I mean, he'll take a wild pitch to the backstop right now too.
I think he would. And that's a possibility. Velasquez is still obviously thinking about that finger.
And they've got activity in the Phillies bullpen.
Yeah, that's Severino Gonzalez.
The only Philly reliever that didn't throw in last night's ball game. They made a move. They sent Klein, last night's starter, out, and they brought in another lefty.
Ball 2.
Araujo, which now gives the lefties, or the Phillies, 2 lefties in their pen.
Pagan's already walked twice in this game, ahead of the count 2-1. And he has both. He and Span have had good series, good at bats. Hits that one foul, a little too quick. Ouch.
Well, where's your glove?
It's a hard ball. If you don't have a glove, it's going to hurt.
No gloves, no tattoos. This guy can't be from Philly. This town leads the league in tattoos.
3-2 to Angel Pagan. Leads the league, huh?
Oh yeah.
Who's second?
San Francisco represents pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to say. Runner at third, 2 down. 1 run in. Giants have taken the lead. Pagan strikes out swinging. But the Giants get the 1. On we go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Giants.
telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Giants with a sac fly from Denard Span have gone ahead in the 5th inning, 2-1 in Philadelphia, trying to get a game from the Phillies before heading to Washington. Matt Moore back on the hill for the bottom of the 5th. And with the pitcher spot due up, and Velasquez 93 pitches through 5, plus whatever that was, developing blister. Cody Ashe pinch hits for Velasquez against Moore. Fastball for strike 1. Matt Moore, this is his Giants debut, and he's pitching well.
With a tight zone.
Ashe pops one up. Pagan under it. And he makes a catch for the first out.
4 walks for Matt Moore. And if you go back and look at all the pitches in those 4 walks, you'd shake your head at about a half of them that were called balls. And really the same thing can be said for Velasquez. He had 3 walks, and you don't think that he was wild either when you watch him throw. He just has been a tight strike zone.
1 out. Here's Cesar Hernandez. That's a low strike. You know, early in this year and last year coming back from Tommy John, Matt Moore was throwing 91, 92. Consistently today, 93, 94, 95. That's what the Giant scouts saw the last month of watching him real closely.
Well, his average fastball is 93.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good fastball.
That one is bounce foul.
Especially when you've got the good curveball. And he really hasn't had to throw the changeup a whole lot today. I asked him about the 2 different grips in the fastball, the 4-seam or the 2-seam. He says, for the most part, I come at you with 4.
Well, this next pitch will be number 80. Phillies have the left-hander now, the guy you were talking about, Araujo, warming up in their bullpen. Giants have a lot of stretching, loosening, nobody throwing in the pen. That one comes inside. 2-2. This guy's staying loose out there.
Used to have a pitching coach by the name of Mike Rourke, and he used to always say, don't let the game get bigger than it is. And what he meant by that is that in your mind going into a game, you can have a tendency to make some games bigger.
Strike 3 call with the curveball.
And that's one of the few high curveballs we've seen. So Hernandez not in agreement, but Matt Moore will take it. Curveball, strike 3, and 6th strikeout. 3 of his strikeouts have been called strike 3s.
So in other words, the advice from your old coach,
don't let the game get bigger than it is. And you see it with young pitchers who get to the big leagues, and they all of a sudden make the game, they just make it more difficult than it is. It happens with veteran pitchers with opening day assignments or all-star games or playoff games, or when you get traded over to another team mid-season. The game becomes bigger than it is, and you have to fight to bring calm into your outing. And I think that the first inning that Matt Moore went out there, I mean, he was pumped up. If he fought through it, limited the damage that went against him to 1 run. But about the 2nd inning, he settled into a nice little rhythm.
High fastball. I think Altair went around. Yes, he did.
Did he go? Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Foul ball, 2-2.
Baseball, because you play just about every day, it's a game of routine. And the more routine you can make your outing, the more control of your adrenaline and your emotions that you'll have. But there are those rare occasions like today that it can be a big distraction, and I think Matt Moore has pitched through that beautifully.
Curve and a good take by Altair. Well, I mean, just look around the game. Andrew Miller made his debut for Cleveland. He's been just almost untouchable. Gave up a home run his first outing. Drew Pomeranz, we saw firsthand. He's having an all-star year with the Padres. He goes to the Red Sox and couldn't get an out in the 4th inning with an 8-0 lead. And some of these guys who get traded, it can be jarring. Can take a little while to settle in. Curve. Altair takes ball 4.
He tried to swing at it. So it winds up being walk number 5.
Well, big spot in the game. Giants have gone ahead 2-1. And the guy who has tormented the Giants, Franco, had the 2 big hits in last night's game. Foul ball for strike 1.
Goes right at him.
Aggression on both sides. I mean, Matt Moore, aggressive pitching, and we know this guy, he comes up ready to swing. He ended the game in the 12th. First pitch, base hit to right center field. First pitch against Johnny Cueto to tie the game in the 8th inning. And you guys talked about it earlier. I'm calling it a hit. It was a hit. He just didn't get credit because his teammate never stepped on second.
That'd have been really cool if it was 2 outs.
That would have been a big story. On the ground to short. Crawford's got it. He'll go to second to force out Altair. And the inning is over. Another good inning for Matt Moore. On we go to the 6th. Giants lead 2-1.
August 18th through the 31st, through the 21st, I beg your pardon. And Friday, August 19th is Beatles Tribute Night, a 50-year anniversary of their final live concert at Candlestick Park. Your special event ticket will buy you an Abbey Road-inspired Giants t-shirt, which is extremely cool. And you'll also get a ticket to see the Giants take on the Mets. So go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
Giants have a 2-1 lead. We go to the 6th inning on this beautiful Philadelphia afternoon. And the Phillies used a pinch hitter for Velasquez, so they will make the pitching change. And when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up. And brake experts, it's Elvis Araujo, the pitcher who was just called up today for this game, facing Hunter Pence and company in the 6th.
Giants saw Araujo back in San Francisco when the Phillies came west. Got a good fastball, low to mid-90s with a curveball, slider, changeup. I think his curveball is his best specialty pitch.
He's another big dude. Pence kind of muscles one into left center field for a leadoff hit.
Well, that's kind of always been the Phillies' philosophy. They like tall pitchers. And when I was here in 1982, we had a lot of guys who were tall. And what their philosophy was, they like guys with height because it creates tilt from the angle of release to where it gets to the catcher. They want a ball going downward. And they believe that a high pitch comes at you and you see half the ball. Whereas if it's down around your knees and you've got tilt going downward, you're going to see a quarter of the ball. I mean, and that's why they like tall guys. And they've always had tall guys.
Yeah, right through this recent stretch of great success until the last couple of years. Snap throw to first. I think of Cole Hamels as kind of the prototype drafted and developed by the Phillies. But Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, the pitchers they've targeted in trades and signings. Yeah, that guy too.
He was 6'5". I was 6'4", and I was like average height on that staff. Ron Reed was 6'7". Larry Christensen was 6'5". Warren Brewster was 6'4". There's Larry Anderson. Came out of the pen for the Phillies for a long time.
Crawford to right center field. Altair, one away. Well, you mentioned how the Giants saw this pitcher, Elvis Araujo, back in the series in San Francisco in late June. Brandon Belt had a huge at bat against him in a game where the Giants trailed late and came from behind and won that game. And Belt hit a bases clearing double against him. That was the big hit in the comeback. So he should have some positive feelings coming up here. 0 for 2 in this game.
Well, he was up there hacking. I always thought when Brandon Belt plays on a day game, his at bats get better. He kind of wakes up slowly. Araujo thought he should have had a strike there.
I think he has gotten better as he's matured, gotten older. He's a dad. We joke with him sometimes about, because he used to be kind of a funny thing around the clubhouse, around the team, how Brandon, he likes to sleep in. A lot of ball players do. You play night games, you get back to the hotel late at night, you sleep to rest up, but once you have that first little one, the sleep in days kind of end. 2-1.
Araujo's going, seriously, where was that pitch?
Welcome to this game, Elvis. Two and two.
Get a tight strike zone. A tendency for a pitcher out there is to start aiming the ball.
Belt strikes out swinging.
No aim there. He just threw it right by him at 92.
Olympics tomorrow.
Are you ready for him?
I'm not totally ready. I got to get ready for him. I've kind of been locked into baseball mode here.
Well, you know, all the bad publicity about Rio has kind of tainted him a bit before they even start, but I love the Olympics. I think everybody does.
Yeah. Well, Eduardo Nunez going to hit for Gillespie. Takes a ball. He just cannot believe this strike zone.
So I hope they don't have the problems that they're anticipating.
Yeah, and I hope that once the games themselves actually start, we focus on the athletes and all their incredible accomplishments. And there's a strike to Nunez. Eduardo Nunez and Bruce Bochy had a long chat before the game today, and Bochy just wanted to make sure he knew, hey, you're going to play. You're not a bench player here. Connor Gillespie's been hot. Two and one.
Well, Nunez wants to play. I mean, he's made a couple errors, and I mean, he wants to atone for those errors. I mean, he's wearing it right now, and you know, he wants to show San Francisco, I can play. I've got some game. But you can't do it when you're on the bench. But Gillespie's been hot.
Bounces that one very softly towards second, and Pence gets tagged out for out number 3. So leadoff single, and Giants never got the runner to second. Matt Moore staying in the game. He and the Giants lead 2-1. Game 6 NLCS, strike 3 called. Tom Hallion rings him up, and the Giants go to the World Series.
The look on Mike Murphy's face, and look at how tight the group was in the middle of the infield. A moment we'll never forget. A complete underdog coming into the series. The Phillies heavily favored it. Yeah, it was fun. So who's left off that team?
Well, you saw Buster there. Giants still have Lopez and Romo and Casilla. Bumgarner was on that team by that point.
Matt Cain.
Matt Cain. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Might be it. We will never come here for the rest of our careers and not think of that game. That's ball 2 to Tommy Joseph.
Or the post-game celebration back at the hotel.
That's true. Also, we peeked in that room the other day, walking by.
And they closed the bar on everybody like about 40 minutes after he got there. And then Bill Newcomb said, go to your rooms and clean out the mini bars. Okay.
Yeah, we accept that challenge. Well, Tommy Joseph, he's walked twice and he's ahead of the count 3-0. That's ball 4. Matt Moore, another walk for him. That's been the problem today, and it's come largely against Tommy Joseph for whatever reason.
Well, and of all the walks he's had, that's been the one that had 4 balls that were called that were clearly balls.
Ruiz, foul ball for strike one.
See him use the right side of the field a lot.
Well, you mentioned how that walk was a little different than the others, and that has gotten the Giants bullpen going. 1-1 with the curve. Hunter Strickland, we saw him warming up.
Talked about the remaining players for the 2010 World Championship team for the Giants. You go back to the 2008 Phillies world title, and Carlos Ruiz, he may be the last guy standing.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard.
To left center field. In the park, Span took a circuitous route to get to the ball, but he got there. One away. That's big out.
And it was relatively cheap. Didn't have to throw a lot of pitches to get it too. So Ruiz and Howard, is that it?
I think it is. Utley and Rollins, and Victorino were the kind of the mainstays. Cole Hamels, they're all gone.
That was a good team.
Pat Burrell was on that 08 Phillies team and then was with the 2010 Giants, of course. It was a good team. Paredes takes strike one. I think the beginning of the end of whether it qualified as a dynasty or not, the Phillies were the powerhouse team. 08, 09, 2010 in the National League, and at NLCS, people around here believe that that Giants win was the beginning of the end.
Well, I agree with it. I mean, they had it all going in 2010. They steamrolled the Reds. Halladay had a no-hitter against the Reds in the NLDS.
Good curveball, strike two.
And they just looked like they were set up.
Well, yeah, I mean, they blew the doors off the Reds. Roy Halladay threw a no-hitter, so then he was going to start game one. Giants came in here after having to scrap against Atlanta to get to the NLCS and facing Halladay coming off the no-hitter. And Cody Ross hits 2 home runs. They win game one. So see if Matt Moore can put away Jimmy Paredes here. 1-2, very high.
That overthrow there.
Good play by Trevor Brown.
Well, in a 2-1 ball game, you don't want to give up any increments of 90 feet by way of a pass ball or a wild pitch or walks.
Curve on the ground. A diving stop by Panik. He has no play.
Well, a significant play because they keep it from the outfield and they keep the first and third situation from happening. And Crawford never broke to the bag. He was playing way over towards the hole, and I don't think he could have got there.
That's an instance where that defensive positioning, which so often helps the Giants, it made that play a little more awkward. It was not, and it's also an example of a ball that wasn't hit all that hard, but just found a hole, an opening in the defense. So it's not Bruce Bochy, it's Dave Righetti. 102 pitches for Matt Moore. They're going to stick with him.
Hunter Strickland in the bullpen for the Giants. And right below him is Michael Marriott, the right-hander for the Phillies.
And one thing about this situation, you've got Goodell, the right-handed hitter, so you could bring Strickland in, but the Phillies have, for example, Odubel Herrera on the bench as a lefty, an all-star. That ball is a little bloop. Crawford doesn't see it. He just couldn't find it. The bases are loaded. Another bad break for the Giants.
They make a good pitch, fastball. You get it in on the hands of Goodell. Crawford broke back, and when he looked up to try and find it, he saw nothing but sunshine. But I think he went up, put the glove up just sort of to deke, which perhaps may have kept Tommy Joseph from scoring.
So bases loaded, still only one out, and Freddie Galvis up. Big spot here for Matt Moore. Trying to keep the Giants ahead in this one. You got the pitcher spot due up next. Strike one swinging.
Well, he struck him out twice already today. And Galvis is very, very aggressive. And if he starts swinging and missing, he just keeps swinging and missing. He gets very aggressive.
So rely on your catcher, and you don't necessarily have to throw a strike here. Curve up the middle. Panic. There's one, not in time. Tying run comes in to score. That's 3 hitters in a row. Not a single one of them hit the ball hard, and the Phillies get a run.
Well, with Galvis' speed, I mean, it has to be a double play attempt where both the middle infielders are in balance, because if they have to come across their body or not use their feet, you're just not going to have enough time or strength to make the play. So a flat-footed throw from Crawford, just not enough on it to get to Galvis.
So now the pinch hitter, and it'll be Featherston in a spot where a hit could put the Phillies ahead. They've tied the game 2-2. Strike one with the fastball. And really, truly, Paredes with the infield hit, then the jam shot bloop from Goodell, and a ground ball that if it was hit even just a couple feet in either direction, maybe a routine double play. And that's the sequence that has tied the game. Leadoff walk is the run that comes in to score. Matt Moore's made a lot of good pitches in this inning.
Well, he's digging deep right now. This is going to be his last inning.
And maybe his last hitter. No matter what happens.
Got to be very careful with how you throw your pickoff moves or the run of third base with Bach and Bob Davidson, the umpire at second base.
Look at Bob. He's watching closely.
That's his specialty.
Very, 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 very foul. All the way up there. 0-2.
Bach and Bob on the right. On the lookout for Box.
Curve, strike 3 called. Well, I think Matt Moore pitched well in his Giants debut, but he's likely going to leave the game tied. Kipe comes over and joins Mike when we come back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. And in Matt Moore's debut, it is a 2-run ball game. Giants, Phillies all knotted up 2 apiece. For Matt Moore, 6 innings pitched, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. He was fantastic in a very difficult strike zone to work with today. Denard Span, he has a sac fly, a single run. Vince Velasquez left after 5 with 6 strikeouts. And Aaron Altair continues to torment the Giants. 1 for 2. That's our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Right now, it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up and brake experts. Michael Marriott, the new pitcher for the Phillies. Fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher. Saw him again in last night's ball game. Here to tell you all about it once again, Dwayne Kuiper.
Already is Joe Panik takes a called strike.
The Giants are thrilled with what they saw from Matt Moore today. Talking with Dave Righetti.
This is where the Giants started out their rally to pick up the lead run in the 5th. Panik led off the inning with a base hit. Here it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 2. Brown, and then you would think a pinch hitter. Not suggesting that, just an observation. Maybe not. In the dirt.
Well, I think the pitch count is going to work against Matt Moore.
Two pitch. Here it is to Panik. Got him.
Big over the top curveball from Marriott, a good one. And Panik is sent packing. High 3/4 release. That's a good snap right there.
Here's Brown. Brown was popped out and then drew a walk.
Gregor Blanco coming out on the Giants on deck circle.
Two and 0.
Trevor Brown's got some pop in his bat. 5 home runs on the year. He's going to get a challenge right here in the 2-0 count.
Indeed he did, and he fouls it out of play. Trevor Brown hit a long home run at Fenway Park. As Mike mentioned, Blanco on deck. And I think he went around. He did. It's 2 and 2.
Yeah, I think it was a strike on the location as well.
Curveball, got him.
Take a look at the curveball. That was the payoff pitch, and I think Trevor Brown thought it was high. In an odd strike zone.
Well, I don't think that was a strike at the beginning of the game.
It was not. Not much was a strike at the beginning of the game.
Adrianza is going to pinch hit. And he's going to take wide. Adrianza did have an at bat in the game last night. He went 0 for 1. fouls. This one backing out of play. Giants are hoping that the power he showed as he was getting ready to come to the major leagues, that power he showed in AAA is going to show up here, like right now.
Yeah, well, right now would be a good time to flex your muscles if you're Adrianza.
Straightaway defense against Adrianza. Good crowd today. Best crowd of the series, over 30,000. And Marriott strikes out the side. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Phillies facing that man.
TSN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
It's a 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Hunter Strickland, new pitcher now for the Giants. 51st time he's taken the ball. 3-1 with a 2.81 ERA. And for Strickland, he will face the top of the Phillies lineup. Strickland been throwing the ball well. Fastballs mid to high 90s with 2 types of movement. More 2-seamers now than we've seen him throw. He's also got a slider and a split.
And the speedy Cesar Hernandez will lead things off. Hernandez will bat left-handed for the first time today, with Aaron Altair and then Michael Franco waiting in the wings. A fastball at 95 outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Bullpen game. Phillies went into their bullpen first. And the Giants now will go into their bullpen here in the 7th. Swing ain't gonna miss. If you look at Matt Moore's starts this year, his 7th inning is the longest that he's gone, and he did that a number of times. And anywhere between 98 to 114 pitches is where he's been.
Well,
take away his walks, he's still in the game.
And his walks, I just don't think he had a real fair strike zone today. I don't think either pitcher had a very fair strike zone. There's been 9 walks in this game, but given the set of circumstances that he had to deal with, the strike zone and a pumped up adrenaline going into your first start for a new team, I think he handled it very well. And I think that the Giants fans can expect to have some consistency with what they saw today. They should be pretty excited about the addition of Matt Moore to that rotation.
Two and two to Hernandez. Ball sails to the middle of the plate, and it's fouled out of play.
And that thing too about Matt Moore, he's going to be a Giant for a while. This is not a 2-month rental, and that's why the cost was so high.
Two and two. Out of play again.
98-mile-an-hour fastball fouled off. Hernandez, I think, has been impressive in this series. Plus, he brings a little attitude in that batter's box. I mean, the balls that are called corner strikes against him, he'll drop stank eye at an umpire quickly.
Got him. And that's the hat trick for Mr. Attitude. Here's Altair. Altair has been on base twice. And he takes a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Franco on deck. And the dirt. Brown goes, killing me. One ball and one strike.
You just know you're going to eat it. If you're a catcher, you don't know when it's coming, but you know it's coming. Foul ball's going to catch you wrong. Ball in the dirt's going to catch you wrong. Fastball's going to take off and give you movement you're not expecting, and it's going to catch you in the wrong spot in your hand. Catching's all about pain. If you can't handle the pain, do not strap the gear on.
Good pitch, 1-2. I think if I were a catcher, I would get down and dirty, 2 strikes, got to block everything, men on base, block everything. But after that, I'm getting out of town.
Especially with nobody on base.
Look out, it's 2-2.
Heads up.
The scramble, and that lady with the ice cream, we found out what's more important to her.
Well, I can't argue with her.
That's coming from a true ice cream lover.
I do not deny that.
Hit pretty well down the right field line. Pence is going to give chase, but it's into the seats. the Reds pounded up on their old friend Mike Leake today. Beat the Cardinals 7-0. The pitch, and it's 3-2.
Well, the Giants were impressed with the Cincinnati Reds when they came out to San Francisco.
Yeah, I'll say this: Brian Price has got that club playing hard. And that's about all you can do right now when you're out of it. Play hard, and he's got him. He's got him doing that now. They're without Jay Bruce. Foul ball again. That gentleman jumped out of the way of the ball, and then he picked it up. And I probably shouldn't celebrate too much because we all saw it.
You do not deserve that ball. And he's taking some heat for it too. Wow. So Hunter Strickland finding out what everybody finds out when they get on that mound. The strike zone is tight. Three-two slider. And you throw a pitch like that, you say, how can the guy take it, number one? And then how can it not get called? But it's a one-out base runner who can steal a base.
So here's Franco. Nice block. 1 ball and no strikes. Franco is bounced out twice, and he's hit a fly ball to left field. Already 17 pitches for Strickland, and he's got 1 out.
Yeah, he's not thinking about the pitch count right now. I mean, he's trying to get out the hottest Phillies hitter, and that's Franco. Ooh, that was close to first base. Good move.
Altair's at bat went 9 pitches.
Bruce Bochy fully expects Altair to try and steal.
I'm not thinking that Franco was fooled too much by that pitch.
Well, it had some hang to it. There was a slider that was up. And what he has done in this series is punish the Giants when they've made mistakes up. And they've kept the ball down. It's been a different story, but when he's had pitches up, he has absolutely barreled them up. One thing good about Brandon Belt over first base, it reminds me a lot of JT Snow and Will Clark, Willie McCovey. Left-handed first baseman, and they come in and they'll slap that tag on that runner coming back to the bag. Giants are looking at this one. They think they got him. And if they do, it has everything to do with the slap tag from Brandon Belt.
Well, it goes by if you tagged him or not.
Always go back to the outer half of the bag, that little corner. That's where everybody's targeting, to stay away from that glove. And that's by design. I think they got him.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
Replaying it now here in the ballpark, and everybody's looking at the play, and I think they got him. You can see why Chad Chopp and Sean Dunston pulled the trigger and said, challenge this one.
All right, I'm going to make the call here, Mike.
All right.
Safe.
Look at you.
Well, I've got the perfect explanation why.
Why is that?
Inconclusive.
Isn't that the word that we want stricken from the English language?
I don't. Look, in the world of technology, I just don't think there was a good enough shot. Assuming that the people in New York saw the same shots that we saw.
Well, they totally agree with you. But I agree with Belt. I think they got him.
Span will track this one down. 2 outs. And here's Tommy Joseph. Matt Moore might still be in the game. He didn't have to pitch to Tommy Joseph.
Well, he walked him 3 times. And the first 2, there were some questionable calls. The last one, it was pretty easy to call the balls and strikes for Dan Asanya, the plate umpire.
Runner goes, no throw.
So Hunter Strickland being very deliberate with 2 outs, perhaps concentrating more on the hitter than the runner. And Altair takes full advantage of it. I mean, you really feel responsible as a pitcher in the high leg kick, and you're deliberate, and a catcher can't even get a throw off. And when that happens, catchers just want to hide because they think that they're responsible, and it really has a lot to do with the pitcher being very slow to get rid of it.
Down the right field line and out of play. Nice play, nice catch.
Giants fan.
Barehander.
That's the play of the series right here. All right, I got this one. Oh yeah. The guy can play.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I want that guy. That's a first-round pick in the backyard wiffle ball game.
All due respect, Jerry, let me correct that. Looked like Brent Jones. Little pop-up. Belt. Side retired. Hey, we got a Brent Jones reference. Life is good. Top of the order coming up.
Moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or your tablet, as we watch the fabulous Phillie Phanatic. he just makes you laugh.
I think Yuppie was better. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. Just kidding, by the way.
Yeah. Brett Oberholzer, the new pitcher now for the Phillies. 26th time that he's come in. He's a 4-pitch guy. He's not going to blow you away with velocity. He's going to finesse you.
Span shows bunt and he takes a ball. Pagan, Pence, Crawford, Bell, no, not Gillespie, Nunez, Panic, all due to hit here in the 8th inning.
I say that's the plan.
2-2 ball game. And a strike. Base hit.
Stay hot.
He may be just about ready to bust open for a while. Had a hit taken away from him by Hernandez in the 3rd. Otherwise, he'd have 3. So here's Pagan.
And Span also had that 2-strike sac fly in the 5th that gave the Giants their 2nd run, which was an outstanding at bat. A lot could happen here with Pagan. I mean, he's got good control of the bat head. You could bunt. You could put on a play. He could just take a couple pitches, which he has no problem doing, allowing Span a chance to steal. And as we saw in last night's ball game, Pete Mackanin, the skipper of the Phillies, he has no problem pitching out if he thinks he's got a runner who's about ready to go. But this is the beauty of having 2 bat control guys on top of your lineup, Span and Pagan. A lot of options for Bruce Bochy.
Outside, not close. 1 ball and no strikes. Pence to follow. 8th inning. Speed at first. Nobody out. Up the middle. And into center field, and Span's gonna put on the brakes. And that almost hit the bag. And I think it just skipped over it.
It almost hit the bag. It almost got caught by the shortstop. It almost got caught by Galvis, the second base, or the shortstop, and then Hernandez, the second baseman. I mean, everybody has what could have been feeling on that ground ball. And Span, I mean, he thinks first and third, that ball in the outfield, but a nice job from Altera, the center fielder, to crash in and back that play up. That prevented a take of third.
And Oberholzer almost caught it.
That was a ground ball that had some personality.
A little magic one-do from Angel Pagan, and here's Hunter Pence, who's 1 for 3. With Crawford to follow, and then Bell. You can really see the impact of that extra inning game last night on both managers and what they have to do with their bullpens today. Swing, ain't gonna miss. No balls and 1 strike. It's almost as if whoever didn't pitch out of the game in the game last night, out of the bullpen, they're going to get the call today.
You know, you're right, and that's the way that Bochy's working it. He had Strickland throw last inning. He's got Derek Law about ready to pitch the 8th, Neither one of those guys pitched last night.
Hit down the left field line one-handed, and it's foul. Now, Oberholzer pitched 2 innings yesterday, but he threw 11 pitches.
Yeah, 11 pitches doesn't take a whole lot out of you. All right, right man found the ball.
Right.
A souvenir to take out of Citizens Bank Park. Thank you very nice.
His brother brought the glove. He got the ball. That's awesome. Yeah, you think you're going to get this?
He'll wait till he falls asleep.
And by the way, don't think about getting it when I'm asleep. It's going in my pillow. Pence pokes this one down the right field line, and it is going to fall foul.
That would have been a thing.
Mom's saying, now you're going to share that? No, probably not, Mom.
I don't think so, Mom.
I'll let you look at it, but not for very long. That guy there, he has no chance. Come on. No. Okay.
That's a good brother.
Start counting the 10.
It didn't stay too long in his hand. Kind of goes down the line. It's magic.
Look at it. I don't trust any of you guys. I love it when the little guy gets it. 0-2 to Pence. 1-2 to Pence.
Yeah, there's softball and Pence. If it change up to start the at bat, he swung through. He fouled off a breaking ball. Then a waste pitch fastball. Doubtful that they just want to challenge in the strike zone with a fastball on him. They know him well.
Got him.
And back outside with another changeup, and there's a strikeout. And that's exactly what Oberholzer was pitching for. Runner at second, nobody out. That's a strikeout situation, and he gets it with the soft stuff.
Well, you had Pence reaching on a couple of those foul balls, so you figured why not? Well, now 2 lefties coming up, Crawford and Belt, and both handle lefties pretty good. Crawford's got an RBI single in this game. He's got good speed at second and good speed at first. On the ground. Both runners advance. And now Belt's coming up. So Belt's got a shot here with runners at second and third. He's scuffled in this game. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Belt with 53 runs batted in. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Again, off speed. But that's how Oberholzer has to go after you. I mean, he has to use all of his pitches. Just going to kind of shave the corners, go beneath the zone, go above the zone.
Into center field. And coming in is Altair, and he makes the catch. He broke back, which made it look like a much better play than it really should have been, but he does catch it, and the Giants strand a pair. So, bottom of the 8th coming up. It remains 2-2. It's Dusty Baker's Nationals. Pregame live will start at 3:30. And we'll have the game for you right at 4 p.m. right here on CSN Bay Area. Jeff Samardzija will be on the hill for the Giants. Here it's a 2-2 ball game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. So Derek Law comes in. Good numbers. He did not pitch last night. And he'll go after Carlos Ruiz. And the first pitch is high. The Nationals have not announced who's going to pitch tomorrow night. No swing, 2-0. No, sir. They're telling us Gonzalez will pitch tomorrow night, and then Strasburg, and then Roark.
And then
3-0.
And then Jose Fernandez, game 1 of the series against the Marlins down in Miami. So lots of good pitching to face for the Giants this road trip. But right now they've got their hands full here.
Three and 2 to Ruiz, who took that 3-1 pitch from Derek Law. Hit to right. Pence there, and he'll make the catch.
Ball hit right on the nose.
1 out, and here's Jimmy Paredes.
So it turns into a big league game with him.
Paredes 1 for 3. In the dirt, and a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Quick pitch and a roller foul. It's 0-2.
Activity in the Phillies bullpen. Severino Gonzalez, the right-hander, and the acting closer Hector Neris. Jinmar Gomez, who the Giants saw as the closer and is the closer of this Phillies team in game 1, has left the team because of paternity leave. They expected he might have been back today, but apparently he has not returned.
That's all up to Mrs. Gomez. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. At least that's the way it was at my house.
Yeah, well, I was kind of had the same rules, but there was no paternity leave now.
Yeah, mom's gonna have the baby when it happens. There's no hey hon, look, can you have this kid so I can get back to Philadelphia? That does not work.
Nope. Nope. Some things you just can't control.
Here's Goodell. And this is skied out into right center field. Hit pretty well. Spans there. And he makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. Oh. Beautiful. 9th inning coming up.
Giants pitcher today and threw the ball very well. 7 strikeout performance for Matt Moore. Had a difficult strike zone to work with, and he walked 6, but through it all, 6 strong innings, couple of runs allowed, and I'm sure the opening night jitters are behind him now. He feels like he's part of this Giants club, and I think Giants fans, given on what they saw today, are going to be very happy that Matt Moore is now part of their rotation.
It's a 2-2 ball game. Severino Gonzalez is the new pitcher, and he's facing Eduardo Nunez. Nunez on the ground to short, and it's Galvis. Galvis throws him out.
Severino Gonzalez, the new pitcher now for the Phillies. 15th time he's come in. 19 strikeouts against 3 walks in 17 innings. He's got a good fastball, low to mid 90s. Curveball changeup combination. He'll give you those 3, and he'll use them all. More curveballs to righties, more changeups to lefties. Righties hit him better than the lefties do.
Here's Panik, who takes down low. Whole new outfield configuration. I'll give those to you in a minute. It is Panik, waits, and he takes low 2-0. With Trevor Brown to follow. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Herrera comes into the game. He's now in center field. Altair moves from center to right, and Jimmy Paredes moves from right to left. Chop fouled. It's 2-2 to Joe Panik. Joe Panik with a single, and he scored a run in the 5th. Stays alive off the shin guard of Carlos Ruiz, and will do it again. Maybe they've got the throwing hand of Ruiz and not the shin guard, or maybe it carried up off the shin guard. Remember when the Giants came in here in 2010 and they won that playoff? Here's the replay on that. Yep, it found it. Found it good too.
Yeah.
The Phillies had all these great hitters, but there were times we determined that Ruiz was the toughest out of all of them at the plate.
Just a grinder. So a fastball at 95, just off the plate away.
Well, so that makes it 3-2. So Panik, a pitch out of the strike zone away from reaching. On the ground to third. Franco to his left, up, throwing, got him.
Oh, the Phillies defense in this series has been spectacular. Another example of it, with Franco going to his left, played him off the bag. I mean, this is just robbery right here. And Joe Panik once again feels like he cannot find a hole. Beautiful play.
So here's Brown. Brown is 0 for 2. And the pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0. Blanco on deck.
You know, outside of Aaron Oberholzer, the lefty we just saw, there's not a lot of soft throwers coming out of this Phillies pen.
There is not. Brown with a rocket into right center field. Is he going to go for two? He is not.
Wisely.
So here's Blanco. So Blanco to hit. Gregor Blanco at 240.
Giants looking for some 2-out thunder here. Trying to get their first win on this 9-game road trip after having lost the first 2 games of this series. After what happened to them in their last road trip where they went 1-7. This becomes a very, very important game.
Just to get the train back on the tracks. Popped him up. That was the one pitch Blanco could lean on, and that's going to end the inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the ninth. It remains 2-2. It's Sports Talk Live, and it's presented by Comcast Business. Hosted by Jim Kozimor today at 5 on CSN Bay Area. You're going to get reactions to this game. Alex Pavlovich and Rio. Everybody's getting ready for Rio. So Will Smith is the new pitcher.
Will Smith coming in for the 3rd time as a Giant. He's not missed a game in this series. The 30th time that he has come into a game this year. 1-4 with a 4.37 ERA. Strikeout stuff. 24 punchouts at 22 2/3. He'll face Freddie Galvis and then Odubel Herrera, then the top of this Phillies lineup. Righty's hitting $159 off Will Smith. Lefty's hitting $325. Smith, you're going to see a fastball, low 90s. Curveballs and sliders.
Facing Freddie Galvis. And the first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Galvis 0 for 3. He does have an RBI in this game, a fielder's choice that tied the game in the 6th. This is fouled out of play. Herrera is on deck. There's Herrera. In at third is Nunez. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Giants have Buster Posey left on the bench.
Ooh, good pitch. Will Smith wanted that. Now this becomes an important pitch because of Galvis' speed. You do not want to walk a base stealer to start an inning in a tie ball game. And Will Smith knows the rules.
Put in the air to Span. 1 out.
Make your heart flutter just a little bit.
A little bit.
So a challenge fastball, and he got him to hit it to the deepest part of the yard.
So here's Herrera. Herrera batting for the first time. He's a .285 hitter. And a big curveball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Swing, ain't gonna miss. Nothing in 2.
That's a good breaking ball. And you see a breaking ball like that in a swing like that, and you're thinking, how are lefties hitting 300 against Will Smith? With the 2 breaking ball combination, the curveball and the slider. I mean, that's just nasty right there. And you can easily see why he's got more strikeouts than innings pitched, too.
Hit down the left field line. Foul. In the dirt.
Another breaking ball in the dirt by design.
Got him. Nice block by Brown. 2 outs.
So in the end, it was the breaking ball that did in Herrera. And you want to throw this thing down below the strike zone. And that's exactly how he executes.
Here's Hernandez, who's 0 for 3. And he shoots it up the middle. Crawford as it kicked off his glove, and Hernandez is aboard.
to get it in first pitch breaking ball. It gets hit to the left of Crawford. It's going to be ruled an error on Crawford. And then that's going to be it for Will Smith.
So Smith's coming out. We're almost coming in. It's 2-2. And the new pitcher, Sergio Romo. By the way, they changed that from an error to a hit.
I think that's a wise call. I wasn't buying into that being an error, but hey, they got it right.
Well, it may be that Crawford would have thrown him out, but it would have been close.
Hernandez has good speed. You're just so used to seeing Crawford catch everything, and with his arm, if he gets his hands on it, you never bet against it. But it would have been a good play, better than average.
So Romo to face Aaron Altair with a runner at first and 2 outs.
Altair has torn up the Giants in this series. Been very impressive.
And a slider for a called strike.
Romo with the disappearing slider, and has not been as quick as we've seen it in the past.
It's a ball and a strike.
One thing about Romo, though, that does remind me a lot of Rod Beck. I mean, whatever stuff he has, he's going to go out there and he's going to get after it. Remember times when Rod Beck would go out there with nothing but a reputation and get people out. And Romo has that same quality in him. I mean, he's got more guts than stuff on some days.
Trying to get this game to the 10th inning. And you also have to keep an eye on Hernandez. Hernandez has got 10 steals. He goes. Pitches inside. Brown's throw. Not in time. No, they got him. He went off the bag, and that'll end the inning. Panik stayed with the tag, and it paid off. So it is going to go to the 10th. Here in Philadelphia, it's 2-2.
Now let's take a look at the overslide from Hernandez. And just a nice job of persistence with Panik staying on the play.
Yep. And a nice job of staying with the play, Bob Davidson.
Bob Davidson thumbing him down, and you can see the disappointment. I mean, that would have been 2 outs, runner in scoring position.
Span out of play as he will lead things off.
And the Giants get what they want. They get this game into extra innings and the top of the lineup. So good things can happen. Such an important at bat right here with the leadoff hitter.
Span with a good swing, and he fouls it back.
He's been on everything today.
Blown away, 1-2. Pagan and then Pence. 10th inning. Two and two.
Easy take there. You hate that when you're on the mound. You have a 0-2 or 1-2 advantage and you don't make a better pitch, a more inviting pitch, a better teaser. When a guy can just spit on it and take it, you lose that opportunity. It does make you mad.
And he comes back, and Span drives him down the right field line, and it is out of here. And the Giants here in the 10th, they take the lead.
And that was not a hanger. He just went down and got it.
Down and in?
Down and in. They set up in the inside corner. This goes down and in, and perhaps even out of the strike zone, and he just golfs it out.
I mean, Gonzalez has got to think that he made a decent pitch.
I can't argue with you.
Here's Pagan, and he takes a pitch low and away.
One of the few times in the extra innings that we've seen here in Philadelphia that the bullpen of the Phillies did not go away with power. Stay hot, Denard Span.
2-0.
What a day he's had. Scored 2 runs, knocked in 2 runs, 3 hits, should have been 4.
Well, look, the Giants have scored 3 runs, and he's had everything to do with every one of them. Down the left field line and out of play. 3 hits today, 3 hits yesterday. He's got 7 hits in the series. And he's going back to where he played and played well, to Washington, D.C. There's a strike. It's 2-2. And Pagan out swinging. Pagan had a little leverage. He had Gonzalez 2 balls and no strikes, so that's strikeout number 1. So here's Pence. Pence 1 hit in 4 trips. And a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Kind of buckled him. Once you give up a home run, it's amazing how much better your breaking ball can get. Get a little anger behind it.
Tapped on the ground to Galvis. 2 down. And that'll bring Crawford to the plate. The home run for Span, his 5th of the season. He's got 2 RBIs in this game. He's got 33. Not really. Those numbers aren't really why Denard Span is playing. He's an on-base guy, score a run guy, steal some bases. Crawford takes a strike.
Hey, but if you're going to hit an occasional home run, though, do it on the road in extra innings.
Absolutely. Crawford on the ground to third, and Franco is there. And that'll end the inning. So an atom ball for Crawford. So Denard Span digs one out and hits it down the right field line, and it finds the bleachers, and it's bye-bye baby. 3-2. Top of the inning, it's 3-2. Giants are leading. And Santiago Casilla comes in, and he'll try to get the last 3 outs in this game.
The numbers for Casilla: 24 saves on the year, 2-3 with a 3.05 ERA, 50 strikeouts against 14 base on balls. He's been fantastic. His stuff, when he gets in the hotter weather, he'll pick up an extra couple feet on the fastball, and you'll see him centered right around 93 to 96 miles per hour. 2 types of movement: curveball, slider, changeup. And here he's going to try and nail this one down, get his teammates in the win column.
And he faces the meat of the lineup. Altair was at the plate when Hernandez was thrown out trying to steal second. He actually did steal second, but he came off the bag. So here's Altair. He's been on base 3 times. And a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Franco's on deck. And then Tommy Joseph on the ground, spearing it and throwing it, and Bell digging it, and they got him. How about that play?
That's the play of the day, maybe in the series. Eduardo Nunez, I mean, he's been wearing it. He had a couple errors. Not an easy thing to do when you come over to a new team, taking some severe heat. On the Twitter page here, a 360 and a 1-hopper, and I'm telling an all-star effort on both ends of this play.
Wow.
This was not easy at all. He didn't have the luxury of being able to set his feet because of the speed of Altair. And on the backside, Brandon Bell works his magic. That's a huge play.
So here's Franco. Franco on the ground, foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike. I had no idea how he was going to make that play.
Yeah, it's 1. It's casual. Well, the 360, and it's almost like he was throwing blind.
Yeah, you kind of pick it up in your throwing motion. And a breaking ball and a beauty, 0-2.
Well, that'll calm some of the trolls down that have been wearing out Nunez. Quick pitch.
2 down, and here's Tommy Joseph.
The influence of Johnny Cueto and the Giants pitching staff can be seen in the quick pitch. We've seen it with Derek Law, and now we're seeing it with Santiago Casilla, who will do the shimmy too.
So here's Tommy Joseph. He's 0 for 1 with 3 walks. And it's low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Joseph 3 walks today. He really hadn't had a chance to swing the bat a whole lot.
The time he did swing the bat, he popped out. This is hit to Crawford. Crawford's got it. Crawford to Belt, and the Giants win a game here in Philadelphia, and they do it the hard way. They do it in extra innings on the road. And I need a nap.
I think there's a few Giants that might say the same thing, but this one felt good for a lot of reasons. Number one, they unveiled Matt Moore, who was very good today, and the bullpen stood tall, and they ground out a huge victory, and they now have some momentum going into Washington.
So the Giants win here on a Thursday afternoon. Beautiful weather in Philadelphia. Love this place. Time to move on. And this game took 3 hours and 30 minutes. Final score, Giants 3, Phillies 2. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's going to start right now.